Nearly 10 years ago, Joel Embiid looked into the camera and said this.
Trust the process?
At the time, people laughed. And after all these years, after the injuries, the playoff collapses, the criticism,
And I could have scored as many points as Joel Embiid did last night, which is 0!
and the memes, I think Philly has finally had their moment because the Sixers just pulled off the impossible, down 3-1 against the Boston Celtics, and somehow they won Game 7 in Boston. I still can't believe what we just watched because a week ago, everybody thought this series was over. The media buried Philly, fans counted them out, and Celtics fans were already planning for the next round. I mean, think about it. You're facing one of the best teams in basketball, your best player is hurt, and now you gotta win 3 straight playoff games. Nobody believed they could do it, but then Joel Embiid returned in Game 4, and suddenly everything changed. Now let's be real, Embiid is nowhere near 100% healthy. Every time he hits the floor, the entire city of Philadelphia probably stops breathing. But still, Embiid's presence changes everything. The defense, the rebounding, the energy, and the confidence. You can literally see the team believe more when he's on the floor. And once Philly won Game 6, the pressure completely shifted to Boston, especially because Jason Tatum wasn't even playing in Game 7. That meant all the pressure fell on one player. It was up to Jaylen Brown to save the Celtics season, and to his credit, he pretty much carried them the whole season, and maybe he could do it again for one more game. Brown fought hard, he tried to keep Boston alive, but it wasn't enough. You could clearly feel that something was missing from the Celtics offense. The spacing looked weird, the ball movement stalled. They were chucking up threes like prime Golden State, but it wasn't going in. The Celtics attempted 49 three-pointers and only hit 13, which is 27%. That is not winning basketball. And in big moments, Boston desperately missed Tatum's shot creation. Meanwhile, Philly smelled blood, and from the opening tip, the Sixers were aggressive. In just the first quarter, they had 22 points inside the free throw line. The Sixers put up 32 points to Boston's 19 in the first quarter. Boston would eventually start hitting more shots. Around the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, Boston goes on a 10-point run, and they're up 37-36. The Sixers would eventually take the lead back, and were up 5 points at half. The halftime score was 55-50. In the third quarter, the Sixers came out aggressively, similar to the first quarter. They dropped 33 points in the third, thanks to Maxey and Edgecombe, who combined for 21 points. Boston handled that barrage the best they could, but they were still down 13 heading into the fourth. In the fourth quarter, around the 5-minute mark, Jaylen Brown hits a midi at the free throw line, and now Boston is only down 1 point. And after that shot, Boston pretty much forgot they could take a shot inside the 3-point line, because out of their next 12 shot attempts, 9 of those were threes, and they missed every single one. Now I'll repeat this once again, that is not winning basketball. But every single time Boston tried to make a run, Tyrese Maxey answered, and at this point, you gotta stop calling him a young star. This dude is officially one of the best guards in basketball. Some of these shots Maxey were hitting were well defended, but it doesn't matter when you're on a different level. But then there's Embiid. Man, you could tell he wasn't 100%, but somehow he still dominated the game. And that's what great players do. Even when they can't give you 100% physically, they can still control the game. And Boston had no answer for him. And we gotta talk about Paul George too, because Playoff P actually showed up this series when they needed him most. And let's be honest, nobody gets clowned more than Paul George when he struggles. I've never seen a player in my life have 2 theme songs like Paul George, but we know which one was playing during this series. He shot 55% from the 3-point line this series. And then there was the silent assassin, BJ Edgecombe, a rookie that wasn't fazed at all by the pressure. The Rook dropped 23 points while hitting 5 threes. Every championship team has an underrated player who changes the momentum, and tonight, BJ looked like that guy for Philly. Now on the other side, this loss changes everything for Boston, because losing a Game 7 at home is brutal, and even without Tatum, people are still going to ask serious questions. Is it time to break up Tatum and Jaylen Brown? Does Boston need another playmaker? Was Tatum's absence the only reason they lost? Because expectations in Boston are championship or bust. But last night wasn't about Boston. That night belongs to Philly, to the fans who survived the process, to the people who defended Embiid for years, to the city that kept believing, even when everybody else laughed at them. And now, the Sixers may have a shot at making it to the finals. But here's the scary part. This team might actually be getting better at the perfect time. Maxey looks unstoppable, Embiid is finding his rhythm, and Paul George is gaining confidence, and VJ is stepping up in big moments. This doesn't look like the same team that went down 3-1. This looks like a team that believes it can win a championship. Now the big question is, what's next? Because the road will only get harder from here. Embiid's health becomes everything. Can this knee survive another series? Can Maxey continue playing at this insane level? And can Paul George stay consistent? Because if those three keep clicking together, the East might genuinely belong to Philly. And honestly, this feels insane to say after everything this franchise has been through. One minute your season looks dead. The next minute, you're winning a game 7. And maybe Joel Embiid was right all along. Trust the process. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing.